Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today, and if you want to call in, 570-530-8316. Beeb, let's get it started. PBC on Amazon Prime, the main event last night. Sebastian Fundora versus Cordell Booker for the WBC and WBO junior lightweight titles. Fondora wins by a TKO over Booker in the fourth round. Booker, Beeb, maybe you can speak to this probably better, a lot better than I can, but he looked like he had zero idea on how to deal with Fondora's height. And I'm shocked. He looked like he had no real plan of attack coming in.
Yeah. I was thinking possibly this could be a potential banana skin for Fondora.
Yeah.
Because the odds were so wide.
Right.
You know, me being the gambler, I like taking a shot.
Yeah.
But also the layoff. And the thing about Fondora too is this guy's been up and down so many times. Like he'll look great in one fight and then he won't look so good in another. And we saw what happened in the Mendoza fight where he just got starched, right?
Yeah.
And he's been inconsistent, right? And I would argue he hasn't really gotten better. You know, seems to be like a lot of times gets hit more and more. But in this fight, Booker just he didn't look like he knew what he had no way of like.
Did he not have tall guys in sparring?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
He did look lost in the fight.
He looked like a lost puppy. And let me tell you what the worst part was. In the first couple of rounds, he was tagging him with those inside right hands.
Yeah.
When he was in there, he would catch Fondora. You know, he's a southpaw. He caught him with those inside right hands in like solid shots, but not enough to to put him away, but just enough to let him know, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And those just kind of went by the wayside, man.
Fondora's got that uppercut. It's kind of like a sneaky uppercut because the guy's so tall and long. You're looking at the guy, and that punt, like that fist is out of your view because he's so tall and long, and you're looking at him, but that fist is out of sight. So he's hitting you with like a blind punch. Because the way he throws that punch like from the waist, he's like he drops his hand and is like his torso's so long. When he drops his hand, you can't see that punch when it comes up, and he shoots it from like really short and sharp up and underneath the guard, and he tends to land that a lot. He has success with that, and you got to give him credit for being able to squeeze that punch off for being so tall and long. The only problem with Fondora on the inside is he doesn't bend his knees. He doesn't make himself a compact target. Sometimes he just stands straight up, and he's throwing those shots like this a lot of times with his chin in the air, and he's sometimes squared up, and he's not like squatting down and bending the knees.
Right.
And
and his chin, like I said, man, I mean, I think, again, if he goes against anybody with some real class in the division, he's going to lose that fight. I don't think he beats
Virgil Ortiz. There's no way he beats Virgil Ortiz.
No.
Madrimov, he'd have problems. I don't think Madrimov, another one, Bohachuk, and that Bakram guy too, the guy that just knocked out Zhu. That could be a really horrible style matchup for him as well too. So
but he may be one of those guys. He may be one of those guys that gets better as a champion. We see it all the time. We see it. We see the guys that are like, they're just kind of mid-range, and then they get the championship, and all of a sudden, man, they vault off to a new level, man. They're really good. They take it seriously. It does something with their confidence, and
this was a great comeback win for him after the long layoff. It's something he really needed.
Yes,
and it's
this
crazy.
was a good fight for him. This is a good fight for him after a layoff, for sure.
And it's crazy. I mean, this guy's a unified champion. He's got the WBO and the WBC title now.
Right. Gavin's Ghost says, is Zayas next? Well, that's the plan. After Fondora got rid of Booker in the fourth round, Pretty much after the fight, Xander Zayas pretty much called him out, and I think it's a good fight, but I think it's a great fight for Xander. I think Zayas wins fairly easily in that one, but I don't know Beeb, I'll tell you this. I don't think that fight comes off. I'll be honest.
I was saying the same thing. See, I'm going the other way. I think Fondora beats him because I'm not sold on Zayas yet, but I was saying the same thing. Like maybe Top Rank won't pull the trigger. Maybe they won't pull the trigger.
I don't even know if it's up to them really, because that's the thing. I mean, they'll, it's not uncommon for them. He's got 2 belts.
Yeah.
He can drop that WBO belt.
He could.
And not mean anything, And what they'll tell him is that we'll drop this guy and we'll drop the WBO belt and you can fight this guy for more money and this and that.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, Xander Zayas is not going to command a big fee.
That's
just not.
That's right.
And he's a dangerous fight. And if you're going to be in a dangerous fight, you might as well be in a dangerous fight with a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure
money.
I'm sure there's other fights. And here's the thing: when you don't have to pay the B-side fighter a large purse, you can take more of the share. And if you fight Zayas, you're going to have to pay the guy unless the fight goes to purse bids. But even then, goes to purse bids, you can't guarantee yourself a big purse either. It depends on how much is bid for the fight.
Yeah.
So
and I'll tell you, I think Zayas gets him. I really do. I think Xander beats him.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Those 2 fight, I think Xander's definitely the favorite.
A lot of people like Xander in that fight, but we'll see.
Yeah. But you're not a big Xander fan, though.
Yeah, I'm not really sold on the guy, but there's a lot of people out there that are. There's this guy HLD on Twitter. All he's doing is like freaking. He's like constantly like spamming me with this friggin' Zayas stuff, and I'm like, buddy, take it easy. I mean, you're a middle-aged man. Go out and touch some grass or something, please.
Touch some grass. I get it, man. Like I said, and he's good. But I'm a lot like you when it comes to Zayas. I think there's a cap on what he is and what he can do.
Yeah. Well,
I think that you guys are looking for the next great Puerto Rican star. I don't think that's him. I just don't. I mean, he's very good, but is he? I mean, do you think he's the next Puerto Rican star? I don't. I don't think he's Trinidad. I don't think he's Cotto.
Well, here's the thing: like a lot of people don't think that much of Fondora, though. You're not like you. A lot of people.
I don't.
You're not over the moon for that guy either, right?
No, I think his gimmick is he's tall, and if you get a guy that can go past that gimmick, and he can absolutely, he's definitely beatable. Put it that way. When I watch him, out of the champions in that division, I look at him and say he's
vulnerable, right?
Yes,
he's definitely vulnerable.
If I got an up and coming guy like Zayas, that's the guy I want to face. I want to face Fondora.
That's right.
But for Fondora, you don't want to face Zayas because again, it's a money thing. He can get more money fighting somebody else than he will fight Zayas.
That's right. That's right.
Fight Doctor, R.I.P. Big George Foreman. I know. We'll talk about that later, but gosh, man, what a loss. What a loss. Let's talk about the co-main here. It wasn't the co-main, but Terrell Gausha versus Elijah Garcia, 10 rounds. Garcia beats Terrell Gausha. Scores were 95-94 for Gausha, 95-94, and 96-93 for Garcia. Beeb, you said this was a close fight. This could have went either way.
No, I don't think it was actually a close fight, to be honest with you. I thought Gausha, it was a close fight on the scorecards, but I think Gausha won at least probably seven of the 10 rounds, in my opinion. Yeah.
So you thought it was a robbery then? I thought it
was a bad decision. Yeah.
Bad decision. Yeah. Bad decision.
That was a bad decision because I thought Gausha, he scored the knockdown in the first round. That's a 10-8. And then I thought he was getting the better of him. I thought he was landing the cleaner shots. I thought he was getting off first, so Twitter, I don't think anyone on Twitter thought Garcia won this fight.
Wow.
I don't think anyone did. So
crazy. And then we move over to DAZN for George Cambosos versus Jake Wiley. Cambosos wins a unanimous decision over Wiley, 117-111 twice and 115-113. We were talking about Cambosos before we came on here. He's just he had that one big night against Teofimo. And like I told you, listen, You could argue. I think I scored it for Cambosos, but I tell you what, you can make an argument that he lost that fight. You can make an argument that T.O. won that fight. It was a close fight. It was split. It was close.
It was a split decision. They both scored knockdowns. I mean, I had Cambosos winning the fight, but again, like I said to you earlier, this guy hasn't looked good since that fight. And even when he fought guys like Mickey Bay and he was going life and death with guys like Mickey Bay, eked out a split decision in that fight. Even in this fight, he won the fight, but he just doesn't set the world on fire. Like he labors through these fights. Like all these fights to me, they're life and death. They're life and death to me. Like I'm not saying he was getting beat up or anything like that, but he just nicks rounds. Like if you're just nicking rounds against a guy who took the fight on like 5 days notice, right? And with all due respect, not a top level guy, but if this guy is like landing right hand leads against you and ripping the body and having some success, like I scored this fight 8-4 for Cambosos, but you can even make an argument 7-5 because he just wasn't really putting a stamp on these rounds. He was having his moments and spots, but he just couldn't take over the fight. And you got to be able to take over the fight against someone like this young man. Yeah. And he wasn't able to do it. And he was getting busted up a little bit. He got butted, and I guess the cut kind of threw him off a little bit. And I thought he started fading down the stretch, but he had enough rounds in the bank to pull it out. But I just thought this was not a stellar performance from him. Not a stellar.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I told you. I mean, he had one big night.
That's right.
And all of his fight. Now, listen. As far as entertainment goes, he's an entertaining fighter. Everything he's in, he's a dog. It's a dog fight.
Tries, yeah. He brings it, right?
Yeah, he definitely brings it. Let me bring Robert on because I want to talk about the Zayas thing a little bit more. 530, you're live. Robert, what's up?
Hello, Eric and Joe. I do want to talk about all these subjects you're talking about. So, anyway,
all right, so
I'm doing all right.
Fundora versus Booker, okay, and then did you notice that in the first hand he was getting hit with some big right hands on the inside?
Yes, and look, Fondora can be beat, and I do think he will be beaten, but I don't know if Zayas is ready for a title shot yet, because if you notice, Top Rank has been very careful about who they match him up against. They haven't really put him in against anybody where he has to really prove, he's at the top level. I don't think he may be ranked number one by the WBO, but I don't think he's ready for a title shot. That's just my personal opinion. I would like to see Fondora fight the guy that knocked out Kim Zhu because he's got the IBF title. And that would be for 3 titles, and you could get more money that way instead of fighting somebody like a Xander Zayas. And so that's my opinion on that.
Would you take Fundora over Zayas at this point?
Right now, because I don't think Xander is ready. Joe, you're the guy that breaks down fights. Do you think Top Rank has matched him correctly to get him ready for a title shot? I don't think so.
No, I don't even think he's had a step-up fight yet, in my opinion.
Exactly. He's not ready for this. So yes, but right now, Eric, until he proves otherwise, I would have to pick Fondora in that fight because I don't think Xander is ready. But like I said, I want to see Fondora fight the guy that knocked out Zhu, because that's for 3 titles, and and that trumps any mandatory title defense. So that's the direction I would go with him.
Gotcha. Now, what about Cambosos? Where would you go with Cambosos at this point? Because here's a guy.
Now, okay, I disagree with this. I don't think Cambosos can even compete with Richardson Hitchens. I think Hitchens will walk all over him because with his boxing style and his defense, I don't think the fight would be even close. I would put Cambosos against Liam Parle and make that another big card in Australia because you got two Australians at the high level. That's the direction I would go with him, because I think if you put Cambosos in with Hitchens, it's going to be a mismatch.
Yeah, I would like to see Jesus Ramos get another shot at get a shot at the title, man. I thought he got a bad deal against Lubin. I thought he beat Lubin in that fight. I thought that was a bad decision.
I do too. I scored it for Ramos, but
me too.
I'm not an official judge, so
we know that.
Yeah.
You do your best though, Bobby. We gotta give you credit, man.
Yeah, I do good.
There you go.
Do your best. I try to teach you how to score these fights, but you're learning.
He's learning. He's a project.
Hey, I do good. I do.
There you go.
What can I say?
All right, Robert, we're going to put you back on hold. We're going to bring you back on for the when we talk about George Foreman, okay?
All right, scram.
What's wrong with you? 718, you're live.
What's going on, guys? Rafa from New York.
Hey, Rafa, what's going on?
What's going on, Rafa?
What's going on? I watched this show with Samson a few days ago. I'm surprised you didn't push him back and a lot of the BS. That
what do you mean?
What do you mean about that, babe? I gotta be honest.
What do you mean? I had him on the hot seat. I asked him. I said, "Listen,
I don't know, Beeb. Listen,
I said, you don't want to kiss
real
the ring
tough until you get in front of Samson, and then he seemed to push you around quite a bit."
I said, "You don't want to kiss the ring, but you're leaving money on the table for your fighter." Oh, I'm loyal.
Yeah,
I don't know, Beeb. I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I'll tell you one thing. To Samson's defense, I think that's the best option that they currently have based on all the fuck ups that they've done in the past. I think honestly, the best decision they can do right now is strip Bivol off the belt if he doesn't want to fight, and see pretty much if they can do something else with the WBC. Because at the end of the day, if Bivol goes ahead, fights better BF, and then goes ahead and tries to fight Canelo early, either December or early February of next year, Benavidez is going to get screwed once again. So I think that's the best decision that they got right now. And to credit the whole WBC situation with them saying, we're staying loyal to the WBC. They're just cashing in on their favor on them, laying off of the WBC's back when they were at 168, and the WBC is just returning the favor and mandating that fight right now. So it's just politics as usual. For everyone saying that Zayas is not ready, I totally disagree. I think that's the perfect fight to make. Puerto Rico versus Mexico, and that Bakram fight, is the wrong matchup. Even though the unification, nobody knows who Bakram is. Yes, it's for another title. Maybe the hardcore fans would appreciate it, but that's a non-money maker and a very, very high risk fan for a fight for Fondora. So I think the Xander Zayas is the fight to make. That's the money making fight right now. So we're gonna see, guys.
You didn't like when I got it out of him that he wasn't
still on this.
That he wasn't
He's on a whole different topic, Beeb. Beeb's going back to the Samson interview.
He wasn't even the point man.
What are you doing?
No,
it's his call. It's his call.
Turkey al-Sheikh was talking to Louis Dacubis Jr.
You have no shame.
Lois, mute that mic over there. So anyways, Turkey al-Sheikh was talking. He was talking to Louis Dacubis Jr. He wasn't even talking to Samson. And then Samson said, "Oh, I fucked up. I misunderstood the deal. I gave him the wrong information." You didn't see that information that I was able to extract from Samson?
Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself.
You didn't like
if he was in the same room, you would have made him pancakes. All right, you would put on a dress and you'd have made him pancakes. That's what you would have
Samson barely speaks English, and he's constantly messing up and fucking up his words. Aside from the managerial mistakes that he's making, so I can't even take him serious.
But I had him
I know that
stuttering.
you
You
might try
remember I
to
had him
push back
stuttering?
on some.
I had him stuttering.
I hear you out. No,
you didn't have him
I hear you
stuttering. He had
out. I
you
hear you
stuttering.
out.
He had you ready to
But
buy
that's
him
my
dinner.
call, guys. Keep it up.
All right, Robert. Thank you so much.
I had that guy on the ropes, man. They had to bring out the smelling salts after I got through. What are you talking about here? Please.
Stop it. What happened to,
From Boston.
got that dog in him. Huh?
Defamation going on here. I don't like it.
Yeah. You look like a puppy the other day. He was running right over you.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you sitting there.
I'm a wolf.
You're a wolf.
Please.
You're over there taking it from Samson like that. What's the matter with you, Beeb? Come on. You're better than that.
Blasphemous.
Man, I was shocked at the way you got treated in an interview, man. You did. You seriously, you cucked up or something, man. What's wrong with you?
True. That's not
That's
true. Come
100% true.
on. Come on.
Go watch that interview. Hey, guys, if you didn't see that interview, go back and watch it right now. You tell me. All right? Because if I would have had him on the hot seat, he would have known he was on the hot seat. But you, because you think you might run into this dude somewhere else, you were over there cucking for him. Look at you, man. I was embarrassed. Let me tell you what. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed.
I was pressing that dude, man, like a cheap suit, man, with extra starch.
Extra starch. You're a moron. He was over there ready to have dinner with him and stuff like that. Oh, can I buy you lunch? Oh, Samson, if I'm ever in your neck of the woods, I'll go to a restaurant with you. I'll buy you anything you want, Samson.
Please.
Oh, Samson.
Must have you mixed up with Robbie.
Maybe I can get your autograph after this is over, Samson. Please. What's the matter with you? Yeah, every question started with, "I'm sorry, Mr. Samson."
I never said that. That's
You
blasphemous.
cock.
I never said that.
Yeah, you was scared, man. Why does he intimidate you so much, though? I mean, for real, though. What is it about Samson that intimidates you?
Listen to Mars. He got the right. Beeb asked tough questions, but didn't let him off the hook. He loves my style. He knows. That's an objective viewpoint. Why don't you put that comment up there? You won't,
just wrote that down.
Put that comment up there. You won't do it.
Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, Beeb was scared. Yep. Insane, man. Insane. Beeb left saying, there it is. Mars just said, here, let's post it. Beeb left Samson off the hot seat a few times.
That's not true.
That's what you told me to put his comment up. I put the comment up and now it's wrong.
That's not true. Come on.
Come on, Beeb. We all saw the same thing. Come on. It's just, I mean, it's not on the face. Mr. Samson. He sound like Jason talking about Tank. Oh, Linkowitz. Oh, Samson. Thank you so much.
All right,
it's cold-blooded, man.
We can move on.
I'm just saying.
Listen,
don't worry about it. I'll redeem you and I'll redeem Beeb Industries. Don't worry about it.
Enough with this, please.
The guardian of masculinity here. What's the matter with you? All right. Let's talk about the upcoming fights here because that was pretty much the action for this weekend. Not a whole lot, Beeb.
Yeah, it was a quiet week. Sky Nicholson lost it, but you don't care about that.
Who? Wait a minute, what? What happened now?
Sky Nicholson lost her WBC.
Who's Sky Nicholson?
Featherweight title.
Who's he? I've never seen him. Have you seen him? I haven't seen him.
It's not a he, please.
How am I supposed to know? Who'd she lose to? Did she lose in 20 minutes like the rest of the championship fights are over there?
Please.
Huh? She lost in 20 minutes? Get out of here with that nonsense. You're bringing up women's boxing today? What's the matter with you? Go hang out with Samson some more. All right. March 29th in Las Vegas, ESPN Plus. Jesus. ESPN Plus on March 29th, the main event. This is the main event here. Michaela Mayer versus Sandy Ryan.
It's a great fight. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's going to be great. Wonderful.
Enough with this.
Wonderful
misogyny.
fight.
This is horrible.
Wonderful
this
fight.
misogyny. This is gross.
Jesus. Come on, Eric.
Gotta hear it. I'm going to have to hear this from Human Resources tomorrow, man. All these complaints every week on Monday morning, I get these emails flooding in. Why does he keep talking about the women like that? Gonna have to rein you in,
man. Brian Norman versus Derek Cuevas on the undercard there for Norman's WBO welterweight title, and Bruce Carrington versus Enrique Vivas, 10 rounds featherweights. So all in all, a little bit of makeup for the main event.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Mexico on DAZN, March 29th. William Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer. Got to be the fight of the weekend, I believe. For Zepeda's WBC interim lightweight title. Why is there an interim title? I don't understand it.
I was looking at the rankings today for all the sanctioning bodies. Do you know how many freaking interim titles they are?
It's ridiculous.
And they got people complaining about Dana White. Oh, they're only going to have one belt. Yeah. You guys like having 16 champions per weight class? I mean,
right. It doesn't make any sense, man. It really doesn't. Shout out to Big Texan. He says Beeb is looking handsome with a big kissy emoji.
Enough with this, please.
Edward Torres says women have done Eric dirty, it seems like.
When Eric was a kid, he got beat up by a few women in middle school. That's why
but it doesn't matter because they were in high school at the time and they were a lot older than I was.
He's traumatized.
They were also like black belts or something like that. The one chick hit me with a purse, but whatever, man. Did I subscribe to Watch Sky? No, I did not subscribe to Watch Sky Nicholson. Unless she got an OnlyFans. She got an OnlyFans? What's she look like?
I think she does have an OnlyFans.
I bet she has. I bet she makes more money on the OnlyFans than she does in these title fights. That's terrible, Beeb. I mean, you really are. Just a misogynist. I mean, you really are. What's the matter with you? All right. And then later on, like April 5th, we got Richard Torres, Olympian, versus Guido Vianello, 10 rounds heavyweights. What are the big ones coming up? Alam Kanuli, Janabek Alam Kanuli fights on April 5th as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Zhu versus Joey Spencer, April 6th.
Yeah, he needs a comeback fight.
April 12th is going to be the big one. That's going to be Jaron Ennis versus Imanta Stanionis, 12 rounds.
That's a good fight.
That's a good fight, man.
Really good fight.
That's a really good fight.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that is a really good fight. And your boy, Ben Whitaker, fighting April 20th. You don't like Ben Whitaker, do you?
He's all right. I mean, I'm not crazy about him.
You don't like him. Why? Because he acts too much like Nassim?
I don't know. Just a little too much. Like,
did you like Nassim? Let me ask you. You liked Nassim when he came out, right?
Yeah, Nassim was just. I don't like people that try to be somebody else and they don't do it as well as the person they're trying to be. I think he's a cheap imitation of Prince Nassim, in my opinion.
I get that. I definitely get that because he's definitely not as talented as Nassim.
Well, and then Nassim was knocking dudes out too. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. He was getting the results. He was fighting top guys. He was a champion, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Virtuoso said Eric would rather watch midgets box. I don't hate that. I've never seen like, I saw Beetlejuice. You remember Beetlejuice? From Howard Stern. He was boxing.
I remember that.
He was pretty good. He was pretty good. Dick Justice. There's a name for you. There's a porn name if I ever heard it, you know. How would you like to be saddled with that name?
These sock puppet accounts we have in the chat.
Dick Justice.
That's hilarious.
Ebony Bridges earns the most on OnlyFans. I don't know now. She was pregnant. I mean, she just had a baby. I mean, if she's back, I mean.
Cal Brook was the father of the child, too. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was between me and him, man. He took the test. He got it.
Whoa, please.
I was like, yeah. It's, you know. Mayweather ducked Beetlejuice. He probably did. I know I would have ducked Beetlejuice, man. All right, let's see what we got here. Come on, let's get back to boxing here. I know Robbie's on the line. So let's get back to boxing. All right. So news and rumors, because that's the upcoming schedule. So let's go to the news and rumors here. George Foreman, the big news this weekend, man. George Foreman passed away at the age of 76. Cause of death has not been released to the public. Foreman was best known for his George Foreman Grill. I think that's how everybody knew him. I'll be honest with you. Because even in boxing, he was a big name, but the grill was known worldwide.
Yeah,
that pretty much, was what
I
he
still
made
have the
way
grill.
more money.
I have
They
the
still
grill on
sell
my
it.
I have the grill on my countertop right now as we speak. I use it every now and then.
That's awesome, man. And like they still make them. I didn't even know they still made them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
They absolutely do.
But he sold the rights to the grill. I'm trying to remember how much he sold it for.
Probably some ridiculous amount.
A lot of money though.
Yeah. But I'm sure he gets like kickbacks on it because they still call it George Foreman.
Yeah.
So he's got to get something out of that, because they're using his name and everything like that, So
Not sure the whole deal, but
yeah. They still sell them, man. And I don't think what he did will never be recreated. I really do. He won the heavyweight championship, lost it, and then came back 10 years later, and he lost the heavyweight title in 74 to Muhammad Ali. He then won it back 20 years later against Michael Moore in 1994. I mean, that's crazy. That will never be. He took 10 years off after he was thought to pretty much be done. Took 10 years off and then came back, fought for a title twice, once against Holyfield and once against Morrison. Lost them both. And going against the guy who just beat Evander Holyfield, Michael Moore. And the biggest thing is he had Teddy Atlas in his corner. I don't know how he lost, but he just got caught. He just got caught.
All those performative theatrics from Teddy Atlas.
What's the matter with you?
Useless.
That's cold-blooded. Why? I mean, that's really throwing shade.
Do you know?
Go ahead.
Do you know how much he sold the grill for in 1999?
No.
$137.5 million.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money, huh?
That's a lot of money. But does he still get naming rights to that?
No, I think he sold the rights to it. And
Gotcha.
yeah, and he said there was some months when he owned the rights to it, he was getting $8 million a month at one time.
That's insane.
It's a lot of money.
That's
probably
ton of money.
Probably, I don't know. Do you think he should have sold the rights to it? Or do you think he should have just held on to it because he probably still could have made money with it?
I imagine.
Right?
Well, I tell you, here's the deal. When he's got his name on it, that means it's a lot more appearances. That means it's a lot more. You know what I mean? He's probably
you're right.
On tour
He
for
can
quite
just
a bit.
yeah, he can just step away from it all, not have
He
to
can
worry
just step
about
away
it.
and not worry about it.
It's an
And when
excellent
he's
point,
ready to
Eric.
retire, because he was already at retirement age when he made
Yeah,
that.
he's getting older. Probably don't want to keep up with it.
Robert.
Yep.
All right. So, what was your reaction when you heard about George Foreman? And do you think? First of all, I think it's one of the biggest heavyweight feats ever.
Yeah,
And I don't think it'll be duplicated. And I don't think and I don't think it's one of those things that, again, it will never be recreated. But you can't even really compare it to anything either. It was that off the wall. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, what he did was remarkable, and nobody will ever do that again. Because when I watched the Jimmy Young fight in 1977, he looked completely out of it. Like, okay, his career is done, dusted, it's over with. And when he retired after the fight, I'm like, okay, that's the proper decision. I was shocked. 10 years later, I'm going to come back, and I'm like, are you nuts? You're not. This is going to be a sideshow. That's my first thought. I'm like, this is going to be a sideshow. This is not going to go well. And for him to go in and be competitive and have competitive fights against Evander Holyfield and what he did against Michael Moore, that was a shock in itself. But one thing about that fight, Michael Moore never followed Teddy Atlas's advice. Because
don't make excuses.
Robert.
Don't make excuses.
No,
Teddy Atlas was fooling around, pulling out his cell phone, telling Michael Moore his son's on the phone, knowing full well his son doesn't have a cell phone plan at the age of 7. Kids at 7 years old don't use cell phones, and then it was in like the 1990s. It was in the 1990s. They didn't even have cell phones back then.
What's the matter with you?
Teddy Atlas with all his theatrics, please. He lost him the fight.
But no, the one thing that Teddy Atlas told him
Bobby.
before going into the 10th, the one thing Teddy Atlas told him before going into that 10th round, you need to stay away from his right hand. Do not go in, go to the complete opposite side. What does he do? He walks right straight into that right hand and goes to sleep.
Let me tell you what. Not listening to Teddy Atlas is like not listening to your attorney. All right, he's going to tell you what's what and how to get there. All right, you just shut up. You listen to him.
Guy's the worst.
Did you know before he got hit with that right hand that eventually put him down, he was knocked out. He said he was knocked out on his feet. He said the combination before that one hit him, he was out on his feet when he got hit with that right hand.
He froze him in his tracks.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, the one thing that George could do is when he hit you, you knew it. I mean, they always say the last thing to go in a boxer is his power. And boy, that was a perfect demonstration of it. But what a great loss, man! He started out in the '70s as somebody that nobody wanted to deal with because it's very difficult to get along with. But he completely transformed himself and completely became a completely different person. So, what he did in his lifetime was pretty remarkable, and he will be missed.
And I keep going back. So he did get his title shot. He got it against Evander Holyfield. What was that, 91, I believe, or something like that? It was
91.
Yeah, it was 91 where he got that shot. And I believe it was a few years later when he got the shot against Morrison. But he tried, he failed, and he still kept boxing, and he still kept his name in there, and he still kept doing what he was doing. And ultimately, again, lost another title shot, and then got the title shot against Michael Moorer, which was probably going to be, quite honestly, that's it. This is it. I mean, if you don't beat this guy, you're going to pack it in and go home because there's no sense of going forward with this,
Right.
And just amazing, just completely amazing, man.
Yeah. And another thing that he was very good at, he was also very good on HBO. He did commentating on HBO boxing for like 12 years, and he was very good at that.
See, I didn't really care for him as a commentator. I really didn't. I didn't really care for him as a commentator that much. I thought he was a little bit more goofy. I don't know. I like Lampley.
Being a little hard on him, don't you think?
I think so. I didn't see any. I mean, I could be worse. I don't see a need to trample over somebody's grave, though. So there you go.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I get
so much static.
I actually thought he was good as a commentator. I got a kick out of him. I'm with Rob. I'm with Bobby.
Yeah, no, I did too. I did too. I thought he was good. And that's one thing I miss about HBO. They always had good people, covering the fight. If they didn't have George Foreman, they had Gil Clancy. If they didn't have Gil Clancy, they had Emmanuel Stewart. They always brought.
I liked Emmanuel Stewart a lot. I liked Emmanuel Stewart. He was probably my favorite.
Really
he was the best one.
He was really good.
Roy Jones was really good too, I thought.
Yes.
HLD says George was the best at naming his sons, the GOAT.
All
his sons were named George. However, all his daughters were also named some version of George as well. Georgina, Georgette, so all the kids were named George.
Yeah.
Which was nuts, man. So
yeah, it was.
Just a sad day, man. Just a sad day. It was. And just another bit of trivia here. The same trunks that he wore in his fight in Zaire against Ali, where he lost, were the same trunks that he wore against Michael Moorer, where he won. Same exact trunks from two different fights, which was amazing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was. Also, it wasn't Livingstone Bramble. You guys may know him as Rasai Bramble. Passed away this weekend as well. And so that kind of caught us by surprise too, just as much as George Foreman, Rasai Bramble or Livingstone. I always know him as Livingstone Bramble. I know he was Rasai Bramble, but
that's right.
Either one.
Livingstone.
Passed away. He was famous for his fights with Ray Mancini. And the reason for the fights, I mean, he won both fights, but is he put a curse on Mancini in the camp. So, and that really got a lot of attention in the press and everything like that, which I thought was really funny,
Yeah.
And Mancini, another really good fighter, man. And so we knew Bramble was really good. I didn't think he was going to beat Mancini, but Sure enough, he did, man. So he was a really, really solid fighter. Robert, what was your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, no, and well, with Livingstone Brambo's record, yeah, he is the classic case of somebody that stayed in the ring too long. Because he ended up with 40 wins and 26 losses.
Jesus, I mean,
can't you say nice things about people when they're gone?
Jesus.
You always have to say like the most insensitive things when people pass away.
That was completely uncalled.
You want to retract that?
What are you doing?
You want to retract that last statement?
Oh, come on, guys.
I gave you the opportunity to pull it back, and you're doubling it down. I gave you the opportunity to retract, and you're doubling down.
Right.
You have to live with that, not me.
Hey, I'm a doubling down kind of guy. What can I say?
A little too much information there, buddy. All right, please. I need to know what you do in your private life.
Give me a break.
Beeb, like I said, man, I like Bramble a lot, and that was one of those ones that just kind of came as a shock, as well as George Foreman. So yeah, they'll definitely be missed. Is Bramble's not in the Hall of Fame, is he?
I don't believe.
I don't believe so.
I don't believe he is.
And I don't know that he would have the credentials to get in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know.
Yeah, WBA lightweight champion.
Did he have a better career than Arturo Gatti?
Probably not.
Really?
With 26 losses, I don't think so.
Oh, look at you! Look at
again.
I mean, come on. The guy just passed away.
One thing you're not going to ever
One
thing you're not going to ever be asked to do in your lifetime is give a eulogy. I'll tell you that.
No, man. I don't want Robert anywhere near it, man.
You go to my wake, I'm going to make a point of them. Don't let this guy get up and speak on my behalf.
Go back to the queue, right? Robert. I got to put you back in the queue.
Joe was good on the Ringside Reporter, but sometimes he screwed up the schedule. I mean, I don't want to hear. People don't want to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
Please.
All right, 8:05. You're live.
Hey guys, what's up? Beeb, you need to stop with the whole Samson glazing.
Oh, now I got to deal with you.
Okay, you come out of so hold on.
You crawl out from underneath
just me.
You crawl out from underneath your rock, and I got to deal with this from you.
I thought
it wasn't just you. We could blatantly see that on the video.
I mean, that was bad.
It's perfectly visible.
It was really bad. I mean, it was bad.
You didn't see me pressing this guy about leaving money on the table?
I thought he was pressing you. I saw you enjoying the press. What's the matter with you?
I thought he was supposed to be an unbiased reporter.
Unbiased.
So much for that.
You didn't see me.
Samson, you're the greatest.
You didn't see me.
Let me tell you what. You were all over Samson's shorts.
You didn't see me pressing this guy about kissing the ring. You didn't see me pressing this guy about kissing the ring. I pressed this guy. This guy was sweat. This guy was sweating after he got through with me.
He was over there sweating, boy. He was sweating like a whore.
I thought he was the number one fan for the Samson fan club there.
Fan club.
See me calling this guy
got a big
out.
shirt with Samson's face on it now.
Nacho,
yeah.
I got him to say that he wasn't even in the room for the negotiations. You didn't see how I broke that news?
No, we didn't.
You didn't see that match?
No, we couldn't see. We couldn't see past the glazing, Joe.
Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong, Nacho. Please. Ever since I beat you in that trivia, you've always had it out for me. Ever since I took you out in that trivia game, you've always had it out for me.
No, excuse me, sir.
Every question.
I beat you multiple times.
Did you notice Omar picked this up too? Omar Rodriguez picked this up too. Beeb ended with a wink on every one of his questions, like, I got you. Don't worry about it, Samson. I got you.
Exactly.
I got you, my boy. Don't you even worry about it. If you're in Boston, I'll show you a real good time. What's the matter with you?
Yep. Man, yep. Typical Beeb. Had to glaze Samson just to get the interview. Wow.
That's cold-blooded, boy.
All right, move on to the next topic, please. Enough. Let's move on now, please.
All right, just
what do you think you are, Don Rickles? You're gonna roast me the whole freaking 10 minutes of your call?
Just real quick about the card last night, because I don't want to get Beav upset. Man, that was one of the worst decisions I've seen in a long time.
Wasn't that bad?
Elijah Garcia did not win that fight. I thought Gausha won that fight easily, 7-3. There was no way that Garcia won that fight. That was literally some PBC home cooking right there with that decision. Like,
that's what I said.
That kid had no business winning that fight.
I said 7-3, right?
Yeah, the worst part about it is now they're going to be forced to have to give him an even tougher opponent when he couldn't even beat this guy.
Yeah.
So what was the point of giving him a win over a guy that he didn't legitimately beat? Like, it was just bad all around. I mean, unless they literally spoon feed this kid, there's no way that he's ready to step up and fight anybody who can actually fight at 160. Because if he couldn't beat a guy like Gausha, he's not going to have any. He's not going to have any luck beating guys who are better than Gausha. Ramos in the other fight, that was such a unbelievable gimme that Ramos just beat the hell out of that guy for 7 rounds. I mean, I know the guy fell out at the last minute, the guy he was supposed to fight, but man, that last minute opponent was terrible. Like, that poor guy had no chance of winning that fight. He just took a beating for 7 rounds. I mean, good for Ramos that he won. He moves on. But I don't know. I just keep thinking that for some strange reason, the PBC is not trying to give that kid another big fight. It's like after that BS Lubin loss, it's almost like they don't want to put him in there with someone who can actually fight back. Like,
yeah,
you got to put him in there and have him fight somebody. Like, these fights are not helping Ramos.
right.
So they got to put him in there with somebody who can actually fight back. And then the main event, I think a lot of people picked Fondora to win that fight. We all knew that Booker was he's just a guy. You know, he had a decent record, but he wasn't anybody who was a legitimate threat. I wouldn't mind seeing the Xander Sayas fight. I mean, if they don't end up letting him hang on to the belt, then yeah. I mean, it's either take that mandatory for Zayas and fight him, or
wins,
I guess he gets stripped of that belt.
Who wins if they fight?
Honestly, Beeb, and I'm only saying this because I have not been impressed very much lately by him. I have a feeling Fondora might win that fight.
I like Fondora in the fight.
Beeb likes Fondora too.
I like Fondora in the fight too.
I have not been impressed.
Me neither.
I have not been impressed by Zayas at all.
See, not
Top
just
Rank has literally gone out of his way. They've gone out of their way to spoon feed this kid, and other than the Teixeira fight, he has not been very good lately. So I think it's kind of sink or swim. Like, if I'm Top Rank, I take my chances. I mean, how many more fights are you going to give this kid before you finally find out whether or not he's the real deal?
Well, here's the thing too,
I think
Nacho.
you got to throw him in there.
Here's the thing too, Nacho. Whenever you get put in that mandatory slot, if you turn it down, then you go right back down to the bottom again. Then you got to rebuild to get back on that spot. So you never know when you're going to get that shot again if you don't take it when it's offered to you.
Yeah, I mean, and Beeb, he's got 22
fights.
pro fights. How many more
fights?
How many more fights does he need? How many more fights does he need before he's ready?
Yeah, I mean, either he's ready or he's not ready.
It's got to be sink or swim.
Because I think they brought him along the right way. I mean, they haven't given him. He hasn't faced real stiff opposition, but that could just be because of the way he fights. I don't know. Maybe he's just that good.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I would like to see him in Fondora. My guess, though, is Fondora drops that WBO belt to fight somebody in the PBC. That's just my guess. I don't know that.
I wouldn't put that past them, Eric. I wouldn't put it past them. They do stuff like that over.
They do dumb stuff like that. Yeah,
they do stuff like that. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if Top Rank enforces the shot and doesn't want to be passed over, I think they're willing to give it up and go ahead and fight someone else in the PBC realm for sure. Because I couldn't see them holding on to it and being like, we'll take the Zayas fight. I think I wouldn't be surprised, like you guys said, if he just coughed up the belt and moved on and then had him fight somebody in the PBC realm for sure instead of fighting Zayas. But I think Zayas is a winnable fight for Fondora. I haven't seen a guy who scares me at 54 in Zayas,
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. I'm sure you got other people on there. And Beeb, don't take it so hard that we gave you some little ribbon. You always like to give Robbie's crap, so
Yeah.
I thought it was only fair.
Listen, I can take it.
You know
I
how
can
he
take it.
is. You know how
I can
Beeb
take
is.
it, man. I've
He
been
won't
dealing-
talk
I've
to me
been-
all
Yeah.
week now. You know how he is.
I can take it.
Nacho.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Man. I can take it.
Unreal. All right. Terrence Crawford, Beeb, gives up his 154-pound title. Crawford said he will give this up, the 154 WBO title, to face Canelo Alvarez. And from what I read, he'll make the announcement when they announce the Canelo fight. Problem is, when are they announcing that Canelo fight? I mean,
Well, he's got to beat Skull first. In
Yeah.
May, so
Skull.
yeah.
That fight's actually. How about that fight's actually happening? How about that?
I know. Well, again, it's going to be for undisputed, and these are the same
Skull.
people. These are the same people that are mad with this TKO thing. One belt, best fighting the best. But again, you have you have 19 champions in each weight division.
Right. Yeah, and I don't hate that at all. I tell you, because I think Turkey's got the money to make this happen and everything. But
a lot of money behind this.
I'm real curious to see how this is going to work.
Me too.
And if they're going to do they're going to try to get a monopoly on it, and which there's nothing saying they can't. The UFC's pretty much got a monopoly.
That's right.
Other factions and everything exist, but that the cream of the crop is in the UFC, nowhere else. So if you got a good fighter, put him in there and let's see if he can do it.
That's right.
But what I do like about this is that I think even when those guys lose, they're not going to be written off. They're going to come back and they're going to fight. So you're going to, hey, this guy's in exciting fights, blah, blah, blah. And the losses aren't going to mean as much, I think.
I agree.
Because they're not that much of a detractor in the UFC. People want to see good fights.
And what kills me is all these interim titles. I can't stand. It's bad enough we have 10 regular titles in each division. Now we have to have these interim titles. It's ridiculous. That's
what kills it. There's if a champion is hurt, I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
But to just put an interim, just to have an interim.
So if a guy's gonna fight in a unification or an undisputed fight, then the organizations create an interim belt. Oh, because he's can't fight. We have an interim champion until the champion fights is mandatory. Like, what is that even? Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, there's millions. It's like there's a billion people out there with belts.
That's right.
And they're all claiming to be the best because they got these belts. Remember back in the day when they had and I don't even know if it's still the USBA. Remember the USBA?
Yeah, USBA.
They would fight for the Continental America's belt or whatever. And you're like, why are they fighting for these belts?
NABF.
NABF is and you're like, why are they fighting for these belts? Well, because it gives them rankings, because it puts them in the rankings.
Correct.
But an interim title shouldn't put you in the ranking. It should be an interim. Why? Again,
you are fighting in the absence of someone who has an injury who's going to be out for a year.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's it. Hey guys, if you like what we're doing, remember to like and subscribe to the page. Beeb does interviews all week. He does shows all week. It's not uncommon to have him do shows. What is it? 3 or 4 days sometimes, man. Sometimes Beeb's on here and he always gets it done, man. So definitely like and subscribe to the channel. Also, Beeb, tell them about your other podcast.
Yeah, make sure you check out the Populist Perception podcast every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Myself, Maestro, and Ludo. We do a political show on Sundays. So make sure you check that out.
And guys, if you didn't see it this Sunday, guys, go check it out. It was really good today. It was a really solid one today. So there you go.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Boxing, Beeb, returns to the Olympics. I told you guys he didn't have anything to worry about. And you know who's responsible for this? Triple G. He's the head of that Olympic committee, everything like that. It's perfect. Boxing will return at the Summer Olympics in LA. And Beeb, I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear my girl, Iman Khalif.
She won't be in there.
Is actually going for her second. Notice I said her second gold medal.
She won't be in there.
That's right, Beeb. What do you mean she won't be in there?
She won't be in there.
She's a woman. She can box. Why? You think she'll be pregnant by that time?
She can't get pregnant.
She can get pregnant. Yes.
She doesn't have a uterus.
She absolutely does.
She has Suarez syndrome. She doesn't have ovaries.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she can get pregnant.
She can't get pregnant.
Trust me.
You could try, but it's not going to happen.
She can carry a baby.
She can't carry a baby either.
She can carry a baby.
She has the same condition Caster Semenya has, and Caster Semenya doesn't have her period. She has inverted testicles.
Who's Caster Semenya?
She was in the Olympics and she got banned, and then they because she had that same condition.
I don't know. Listen, the AOC says it's all right. The Olympic Committee, it's all right.
She won't be in there.
That's just awful. Just a massage.
Just trying to brace. I'm just trying to brace yourselves because I don't want you to get disappointed when you don't see her in there.
And Fight Doctor gives a shout out to Triple Duck for getting boxing back in the Olympics. He still doesn't give him any credit. He's hardcore, man. When he hates you, he hates you. I love it.
He doesn't like the Eastern Europeans.
No, he doesn't, does he? Lomachenko on down. All right. Well, listen, before I go, when we're talking about the Olympics, do you think Jalalov fights again in the Olympics?
No.
You don't think so?
I think he's done too much.
I would think so too, but I wonder, like, where's his pro career stand? Like, where is this guy?
I don't think he's fought in, like, when was the last time this guy fought?
Yeah, it's been a minute. And he pulled out of his last fight. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I don't either, man. He was, we're looking at this guy coming out of the first Olympics, and we're like, this guy is a champion. This guy has got all the tools, and he's got 15 pro fights, and that's where it's ending, man. He's wasting a lot of this time. A lot of it's wasted, man. It really is. So, all right, guys, listen, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporter.com. You can find me on X at ringside73. And guys, we will see you next week.